Timberwolves, with their first nationally televised game of the season, display some hideous basketball as they get the 8-point win against the San Antonio Spurs, who are now on a 15-game losing streak. Timberwolves are now on a 5-game winning streak with the best record in the NBA at 16-4. You would not expect that if you were watching this team play for the first time tonight. We only score 102 against the San Antonio Spurs, who have an atrocious defense. And it was a pretty dysfunctional, sloppy game out of the Wolves. Our best offense was truthfully a guard just penetrating enough to get a ball on the rim and have Rudy Gobert offensive rebound and put it back. He was phenomenal, by the way. Plus 31 in this game. He made an enormous impact. Had some foul trouble early, so he couldn't play as much in the first half. And after the end of the first half, the Wolves would trail by 7. And that's because we had to rely more on the big play of Karl Anthony Towns, who was a bit of a mess in this game, only 6 shots along with 6 turnovers. I mean, he still made 5 of the shots. He can still score, put the ball in the basket. The problem with him is a lot of the other stuff, the decision-making, trying to do too much, and that was the case in this one. He would actually get, I don't know if you can really say benched, but we went with Naz Reid over him in the closing minutes in this game, where we would finally get some split rotation and be able to win this one. So, bad Cat game, phenomenal Rudy game, and he was getting some chants from the crowd. I was in attendance in this one. We are 3-0 when I am in the building. Also, I shook Coach of the Month's hand, Chris Finch, in the summertime. So, if you want to give thanks for this season, I'm here. For something of actual importance, Anthony Edwards was back in this game after just missing 2 games with his hip injury. He was not good. My t-shirt curse seemed to continue and have an impact in this one yet again. He was 4 of 17 from the floor. He just wasn't aggressive in most scenarios and wasn't getting the rolls on a lot of shots that you expect to drop for him. And I'm just expecting that he probably wasn't 100% and that it was kind of an awkward game that was clunky for everyone, so him not having his usual performance, I'm not too worried about. Mike Conley would lead the team in scoring in this one, though, so we did get some good guard play. He only had 4 assists, which felt less than what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be like a double-digit assist game out of Conley. Naz Reid also gave us some good points in this one, 15 points, 9 rebounds. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well, and the 3 ball was not hitting for him, although you'd have a clutch fourth quarter one, and his play, in contrast to Cat, was kind of needed. So a good game out of Naz, although a little flawed. He also had some spectacular moves on Wemby. I was amazed he was getting a lot of finishes over him early on. And then Wemby had like the most violent spike of a ball that I think I've ever seen, with just the most absurd velocity on a Naz Reid shot. And there were some moments watching Wemby that you're like, oh my God, what is this guy doing? But overall, he was pretty tame in this one and not having a big impact. But there's just those little moments each night where you're like, this human, what? The big scale things that I've been worried about with the overall jump shooting for this team, especially on the bench and the guards, is still a concern. At one point, we were 4 of 20 on threes in this game. It got a little bit better. Troy Brown hit a couple in the second half. I've still been liking his minutes. I've been disappointed about Shake at every single juncture in every single one of these videos. He plays 12 minutes, there's absolutely nothing productive in them. I want him out of the rotation. J-Mac is supposed to be back pretty soon. Jordan McLaughlin, he's been practicing, so hopefully he's just replaced in that rotation. Jaden McDaniels should also be back pretty soon. Our next game is on Friday against the Grizzlies, who are still without Ja Morant, but he will be back in a couple games. We're 20 in, so he is just about back. We get our second game against the Grizzlies without him, so that's nice. And I don't know. This was a gross game. I hope you didn't watch it. Hope you just watched this instead. I'll take the ugly win. We don't get them always. But this year, that's most of them.